KJ Henry getting drafted in the 5th round by the Washington Commanders. I love the pick. I think 4-3 base defense, that's exactly what he fits in. He's a 5 technique, maybe he can slide into the 4-eye, 6 technique and play head up on the tackle. And you look at who they got on that roster already with Chase Young, Montez Sweat. I mean, 2 really, really good defensive ends. These are guys that he can come in and play right behind. There's no way the Commanders are going to re-sign both of them. So, who knows, KJ Henry could maybe put together a good rookie season, maybe start year 2, year 3. He certainly has that ability. Former 5-star coming out of high school. I had really high expectations for KJ, just like most Clemson fans did. And honestly, if I'm going to, be honest, I mean, he was underwhelming at Clemson. He wasn't the elite edge rusher, elite defensive end that I thought he was going to be. When I look back at some of the guys we've had in the past, guys like Clelin Ferrell, who's 4th overall pick, certainly hasn't lived up that hype. Austin Bryant, 4th round pick, sort of a reserve defensive end his entire career. I think KJ's in sort of the same caliber of them two. And I think both of them are just reserve defensive ends in the NFL. And I kind of just think that's where KJ's at. I don't think he has elite athleticism. Don't think he has elite strength. Doesn't have elite speed. So, I'm glad that he went to a defense that matches his ability. I see why the Commanders picked him. He can learn behind Chase Young and Montez Sweat. The length, the size, all that's there for him to be a really good player. He always had that type of potential. He just never really could put it together at Clemson. Hopefully he can do it in the NFL. But if I'm being honest, I kind of just view him as a reserve guy. I love his attitude. I love his personality. He's going to come in and work really hard. I think, his work ethic is going to get him there. If he ever does, it'll all because of his effort. But I really see him in that Clelin Ferrell, Austin Bryant, category, just a reserve guy, if I'm being honest. I don't know if he's really going to start for the Commanders. I can see why he dropped all the way to the 5th round. Obviously, coming out of high school, being as highly recruited as he was, we were hoping this guy's going to be a 1st, 2nd round draft pick. And it just didn't work out for him. He just never put it all together. He did have a really good senior season, although he only had 3.5 sacks. I was hoping for more out of him in his final season. He just, for some reason, it just never worked out for him at Clemson. I'm glad he got drafted 5th round. Being a 5-star recruit, I think it's pretty tough to fall that far with that much potential and that much hype coming into Clemson. And honestly, if him, guys like XT, if they were able to live up to the hype of the recruiting rankings, I mean, who knows what Clemson would have done. Obviously, our defense would have been much more dominant over the last couple of seasons, but really cheering for him. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I loved his energy. I loved the effort that he gave. He's obviously a great ambassador for the university. So good pick. Happy with him. 5th round draft pick. He's got potential to be a consistent contributor as a reserve defensive end. And if he can really put it all together, I think he can be a star in the NFL. So go Tigers.